Within the Centennial Building of the Capitol Complex, there is an office that acts as a public watchdog. Jim Nobles has been steering the Legislative Auditor's office for more than 30 years.
I often say that what we do really goes to the deep roots of who we are as a democracy, and that is accountability.
Not to be confused with the state auditor who audits local government and is an elected position, the legislative auditor audits state government.
The legislative auditor is appointed by the Legislative Audit Commission, and it is a bipartisan commission. It's 12 members of the legislature, 6 from the House, 6 from the Senate, equally divided between Republicans and Democrats.
The Legislative Audit Commission also selects the programs the Office of the Legislative Auditor evaluates. Nobles explains it this way.
Every year we ask all legislators to give us suggestions of what they think needs to be evaluated. And then we work with the Legislative Audit Commission and a subcommittee of that commission to narrow that down. We often get as many as 100 suggestions. And we have to narrow that down, usually to about 15 or so, and then we take that number and put it on a sheet of paper and ask all legislators again to tell us which among these they would like us to evaluate. And then the commission selects about 6 or 8 from that list.
Noble says his office evaluates a wide array of topics, from transportation to healthcare issues to forest management.
We absolutely have to be nonpartisan. We have to be objective in our work, and we have to be accurate. We have to meet those standards in every sentence that we write.
His office digs deep into the management and effectiveness of programs, releasing reports that can be more than 100 pages long.
We can recommend anything that we can think will solve a problem. So there's really no restriction. We often make recommendations to the agency. In fact, I would say most of our recommendations are to agencies to make improvements, but sometimes we make recommendations to the legislature.
The office reports its findings to Legislative Audit Commission. From there, information gets funneled to Legislative Committee with jurisdiction over a certain area, and it is up to that committee to follow up on the findings.
The Legislative Audit Commission sees itself as commissioning evaluations of programs that are of concern and interest to legislators, but not then taking over that responsibility of following up on the recommendations and the findings. But really what they are trying to provide is information to the Transportation Committee or the committee with jurisdiction over health programs or human service programs or whatever those programs are, and really respect their expertise and jurisdiction to follow up on our reports.
The Office of the Legislative Auditor doesn't just work for the legislature. Nobles says he answers calls daily from members of the public.
When the public has a headline that says something has gone wrong, something is amiss, data has been inappropriately released, or money has been misspent, they want to know who's going to look into that and who's going to give them the unvarnished facts about what happened, regardless of party affiliation, regardless of any affiliation at all. There is going to be an independent, professional, nonpartisan, in-depth examination, and the facts are going to be presented.
No matter if the Office of the Legislative Auditor is working on behalf of the legislature or public, it always strives to adhere to a strict policy of nonpartisanship and confidentiality.